Bonjour à tous et à toutes. Je m'appelle Madame Cordel de Bilingual. Welcome to this walkthrough mock for GCSE French paper 4. Today's paper is on Sim 1, identity and culture. And one of the topics that we'll be covering today is free time activities. Si vous êtes prêts, on y va. C'est parti. Vous décrivez votre vie d'adolescent pour votre blog. Décrivez vos passe-temps préférés, vos rapports avec votre famille, une activité récente avec une amie, vos projets pour le week-end prochain. Écrivez environ 90 mots en français, répondez à chaque aspect de la question. So this question is worth 16 marks, so that's about a quarter of your overall grade for this paper. When you write this essay, make sure you have 4 paragraphs. Yeah, it's really important to answer each of these bullet points individually, so to make it easier for the examiner to grade your paper. Okay, so before you start, write accornit on your corner of your page. That will serve as a checklist to make sure you have everything you need to get a high grade for this question. A stands for adjectives. So remember the adjectives in French have to agree with the noun that they are describing. So make sure you add an E for regular adjectives in the feminine forms, and also the S is for the plural. Some of them already end with an E, so they won't change. And some of them are irregular. So for the irregular ones, you will need to learn those. C is for connectives. You have a couple on the screen, cependant, mais, et, there's many more you can use. Néanmoins, en revanche, par contre, de plus. So learn a few. So you can use a few in your question 1 and again a few in your question 2 of the paper. You have to state your opinion clearly. Selon moi, à mon avis, je pense que, je trouve que, je crois que, many different ways of, give your opinion. Just make sure it is in your writing. Really important. Once you've given your opinion, you need to justify it. So give a reason. And for that, you will use parce que, au car, au puisque as well. You could use that one. Incorporate the negative structure, ne pas, ne plus, ne jamais, ne personne. Many different ways to incorporate the negative. Just make sure you use a negative structure. So instead of saying je déteste, use je n'aime pas. Incorporate some intensifiers. Trop, vraiment, assez. So once you've got your noun, like for example, sport, you can add a little adjectives, c'est un bon sport, and then you can add a little intensifier, c'est un très bon sport. And the last one, it is tenses. Tenses are really important. So you've got to have the past, the present, and the future. Usually, for question 1, the bullet points will guide you as to which one you need to use to answer the bullet point, but if you can, try and add a few more. Now, once you've written accornit, you need to have a think as to how you are going to add these tenses, right? So let's take a look at the first one. So we have vos passe-temps préférés. So this bullet point invites you to use the present tense, right? So what are your hobbies or your favorite hobbies? Second one is vos rapports avec votre famille. Again, this asks you to answer it in the present tense and talk about your relationship with your family. So that would be the present tense, but we've already used it in the first bullet point, so I'm not going to count it as another tense. The third bullet point is une activité récente avec une amie ou un ami. Okay, so the key word here is récente, recently. So when you use recently, it means a past that is not too far away. So you would need to use the perfect tense. Okay, really, really important. You pick up on the little keywords in the bullet points that tell you what tense you need to use. And with the perfect tense, you can easily add the imperfect tense, right? Using it was great or something like that. So it's quite easy to kind of slot it in there. Ensuite, on a vos projets pour le week-end prochain. So here the keyword is next weekend, le week-end prochain, which is something that's going to happen soon, right? It's next weekend. So we will start by using the near future to answer this bullet point, okay? So if we go by what they've given us, you will use the present, the perfect, and the near future. Okay, so we've added the imperfect with the perfect. That gives us 4 tenses. And what we're going to do is that we're going to tag the simple future with the near future. So that will give us 5 tenses. Okay, so now what are the tenses I could potentially use? That's what I need to think about, right? So in the first one, I'm going to try and use imperfect as well, because I would have only used it once in the third bullet point. So I can add it one more time. And by using a C clause, I'm also going to add the conditional tense. Okay, so now we're at 6 tenses. Now, if I look at the second bullet point, I've only got 1 tense so far. So I'm going to try and add the subjunctive in there as well. Okay, so let's have a look at an example that we can write together, use it now so that you can see how to incorporate these tenses and of course everything else that is accord nicht. D'accord? Alors, voici accord nicht. So you can see it here on the right hand side of the screen. And here is an example of essay that you can write. J'ai beaucoup de loisirs. J'adore jouer au foot et aux échecs. Cependant, je n'aime pas le rugby car c'est trop violent. Si j'avais plus de temps, j'apprendrais à faire de l'équitation. Je m'entends bien avec mes parents, mais parfois je me dispute avec mon petit frère parce qu'il est assez pénible. Il faut que je sois plus patiente. La semaine dernière, je suis allée au cinéma avec ma meilleure amie. Selon moi, c'était vraiment génial car je ne me suis pas ennuyée. Le week-end prochain, je vais faire les magasins avec mes copines. Ensuite, nous irons au restaurant pour fêter la fin des examens. À mon avis, ce sera inoubliable. Inoubliable is a good adjective actually for you to write down, learn it, and try to use it in your paper. So we've got our 4 paragraphs that are connected to the 4 bullet points that we had in our question. So now we need to have a think and try and have a couple of ticks for each of these letters, okay? So let's start with adjectives that we have here. So we have violent, petit, pénible, patiente, génial, and inoubliable. So we have a few, okay? So now let's take a look at connectives. Et, cependant, mais, parfois, la semaine dernière, le week-end prochain, ensuite. So again, we have a few. So if possible, whenever you introduce a new tense, try and have a few words last weekend, last month, last year to introduce that new tense. It just will help the examiner know what tense is coming, but also to know that you're using it correctly. Because if you mix and match tenses in the same sentence without any transitions, the examiner might think that you're not sure about the tenses that you're using. So that's really, really important. We also need to use our opinion. Okay, so I have j'adore, je n'aime pas, selon moi, and à mon avis. Okay, so I've got a few in there. So now we need to make sure that I've got a few justifications, a few reasons for that opinion. And I've used car, parce que, and another car here in the third paragraph. So that's fine. Next, we need to look at the negative structure. Je n'aime pas and je ne me suis pas ennuyée. So we've got a couple in there. Next, we need to have a look at the intensifiers. Trop, assez, and vraiment. So again, we have a couple. And to finish, let's see if we manage to use the tenses that we set out to use in our prep time. So we have the present tense. That's how we start in it with vos passe-temps préférés. Next, we use the si clause here to use the imperfect. Si j'avais plus de temps, j'apprendrais. Here we switch to the conditional, à faire de l'équitation. Again, here we're using the present tense, vos rapports avec votre famille. And we use the conditional here. Yeah, so it is necessary that I be more patient. Then we have the perfect tense. La semaine dernière, je suis allée, followed by the imperfect. Selon moi, c'était. Next, we have the near future. So the near future, you can see here, you have to conjugate the verb to go in the present tense, followed by the verb in the infinitive form. So le week-end prochain, je vais faire. And then I switch to the simple future. Ensuite, nous irons and ce sera inoubliable. J'ai beaucoup de loisirs. J'adore jouer au foot et aux échecs. Cependant, je n'aime pas le rugby car c'est trop violent. Si j'avais plus de temps, j'apprendrais à faire de l'équitation. Je m'entends bien avec mes parents, mais parfois je me dispute avec mon petit frère parce qu'il est assez pénible. Il faut que je sois plus patiente. La semaine dernière, je suis allée au cinéma avec ma meilleure amie. Selon moi, c'était vraiment génial, car je ne me suis pas ennuyée. Le week-end prochain, je vais faire les magasins avec mes copines. Ensuite, nous irons au restaurant pour fêter la fin des examens. À mon avis, ce sera inoubliable. Okay, so this question is quite hard to do because you only have 90 words and try to incorporate acronyms. So I recommend practicing as much as possible because that's going to give you the tools to be able, on the day of the exam, to do it with confidence. If you would like to continue practicing, go to bilingualefr.co.uk where you will find many questions on various different topics on all three themes for you to continue practicing. Good luck with your revisions and we'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and to subscribe. If there are any topic or tenses you would like me to cover, then please let me know in the comments below. Good luck with your revisions and I will see you soon. Au revoir.